You know what I find to be ironic? The people who are the most upset about what they believe to be Trump's racism are usually the first ones to insult him about the hue of his skin. They call him orange man, they call him orangutan. They see they can see media depicting him as being killed and that sort of thing. And they are okay with it. And I don't know. If you want to fight racism, I think the last thing that you would want to do is to mock someone for the hue of their skin. Maybe they're thinking, if you can't beat them, join them. I don't know what's going through their head. Well, actually I do. It's just like when liberals claim to be against something, and Malcolm X said this back during the civil rights movement. Now, you look at me and you say, oh, you're a coon or whatever. Malcolm X said the same thing. Liberals use social issues simply as a tool to attack conservatives. Malcolm X said that. And I'll leave a link in a video of him saying that. But I've shared that numerous times and people just act like they never saw it. The whole point is, I'm not saying that you automatically have to believe, to agree with Malcolm X. But don't call me a coon for having a position when someone that you most likely respect a lot had the same position. It ain't really about the position. It's about you just not wanting to hear it. Think about it. If I was really riled up about children dying at the border or something like that, it wouldn't matter who was in charge. If my idea was that I'm going to blame the president, I'm going to blame Trump for the children who die in U.S. custody at the border, if I'm going to blame him for that, then logically, if the president before him or any presidents before him had the same thing happen, then logically they would be just as culpable, just as guilty as Trump is. So, if I say, hey, it's all Trump's fault that this little kid died at the border, and then someone points out, well, actually, under Obama, under Clinton, under Bush, X amount of kids died under the authority or under the presidency of Obama, Clinton, Bush. Then my logical response would be either, yeah, I know that. I can't stand any of them. They're all wrong. Or I didn't know that. I'm surprised. Maybe I need to look at them differently because I used to think they were pretty cool. The logic, that's someone who's consistent, who genuinely cares about kids being killed at the border under U.S. custody. Or dying, I should say dying. But if my response is, we're not living in the past. We're not worried about what Obama did. We're not worried about Bush and Clinton. We're talking about Trump right here. Why can't you see him for what he is? So it's not about the poor little kid, poor Tiny Tim, dying at the border under U.S. custody. It's about Trump. You're just using that as an excuse or an example as to why you hate him and why you want others to hate him. If I say, I'm against hate speech, I'm against bigotry. Sorry if you can't see me that well. The sun is kind of, from my point of view, the sun is making my screen really dark. I'm against hate speech. I'm against intolerance. I believe everyone should be treated equally. Except for if they're wearing a MAGA hat. Holy crap, car. Except for if they're wearing a MAGA hat. If they're wearing a MAGA hat, they don't count. I don't have to serve them in my store. I can yell at them. I can insult them. I can call them a piece of crap. If that's your view, then you're not against hate speech and intolerance. You're against people who wear a MAGA hat. Like, if you have a true standard, true standards don't change based on who does it. That's because it's based on the standard, not the person. If your standard changes with the person, you're not against the standard. You're against the person. And I was going to say a lot of people don't realize that. I think they do. They just don't care. They're so godless inside. They just don't care. If I'm against rape, do I want a person who calls himself my enemy, because I don't consider no one else my enemy. If I'm against rape, do I want my so-called enemy's daughter to get raped? Some of y'all do. Some of y'all say rape is wrong, but you be like, yeah, that's what they get. That's what they get for hating on me. That's what they get for trying to fight me that day. Yo, you're not against rape. You're against rape when it affects somebody that you care about. You don't care about the victims of rape. And this is just what I don't understand. Well, I do. I gotta stop saying it. This one doesn't make sense to me. And the reason why it doesn't make, the reason why it bothers me is that so many people fall for it. They get in their feelings, they get in their emotions. They don't understand anything. All they know is their feelings. It's windy out here. All they know is their emotions, and they don't use their brain. And you got so many people riled up. I've seen somebody personally, I know personally, get fired because of something he saw that got him riled up in the media. People perpetuating discord. Oh, this person's a racist, this person's that. Anything little thing that Trump says or a white person says that's offensive, it's automatically called racist. I got people calling me racist. I got people call Ben Shapiro, who's a Jew, they call him a Nazi. Milo Yiannopoulos, I think that's how you pronounce it, he's a gay. He's a flaming gay. In his own words. He calls himself the F word. F-A-G, you know the rest. Well, I might as well said it. And he's a Jew. He's a flaming gay Jew. You know what they call Milo? Alt-right, KKK, white supremacist. He's the furthest from the truth. He just has a different worldview. And I'm just going to wrap it up with this. When people promote ideals, oh, the rich are oppressing the poor. Do you vote for rich politicians? Do you support rich politicians? Are you supporting a party that's led by rich politicians? Oh, what do you say? Oh, white people are suppressing the poor. And this is what I don't get. How can you say that white people are being oppressive, that rich people are being oppressive, and then you go out and you vote for a rich white person? Think about that. You don't care. You're not really against rich, oppressive white people. You're not. You're not against that. You're just against the ones that you don't like. And then you promote yourself to be for the people. You're not for the people. You're anti certain other people. And that's what I don't understand. That's what I don't get. And there are way too many people out there who don't know how to use their brain, who falls into this nonsense, this mindset, who don't know how to look at policies and focus on policies. They focus on the person. Malcolm X, like I said, he said, white liberals, they don't care about black people. They simply use race to try to use it against conservatives. Malcolm X said this. Think about it. Black lives matter. Unless you're a black conservative, y'all will sit here and tolerate a white person disrespecting a black person. If they're a black conservative, y'all will sit there and stand there and watch that. But you're supposed to be black lives supposed to matter. You're supposed to respect black people. You're supposed to be against racism. You'll sit there and watch people. You'll see hate. You'll see violence enacted against Trump supporters or just conservatives in general. You'll look the other way. But you're supposed to be against those things. When something happens to Ray down the street, you're like, well, when are we going to mobilize? When are we going to fight this? If you're standing around not doing anything, then you're part of the problem. You're complicit. That's what y'all say. But when it happens to somebody you don't like, you sit there and you watch. You cheer it on, exactly. And in fact, you actually do the acts yourself. But you want to hold up your head and turn your nose up and act like you're morally superior to conservatives or centrists or whoever else. You're a big fat fraud. You're a big fat hypocrite. If you only care about certain things when it affects your people, if you only and not only do you not only care when it affects your people, you actually encourage those things and you incite it against others, then you are the manufacturer of the thing you fight against.